Moses Oaks writes, what do you think about a Back to the Future reboot?
It's getting close to time. Yeah. It's been a long time since that original. You know, this will be, I don't often think this is the case, but if you're going to do a Back to the Future reboot, so key is going to be the casting. Like, who do you get as Doc? Who do you get as Marty? The movie will be made or broken right there, right. I think. To capture, you don't do Michael J. Fox impersonation. Don't do a Doc impersonation. Bring your own thing to it, but they got to have that larger-than-life personalities that they brought in that first one. So I would be okay with it. I still feel like, give me a couple more years. Give me a couple more years, but then I think we'll be ready for it. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I was going to say, no Huey Lewis in the news. Got to get back in time, because it's like that's from that trilogy. Yeah. They have to get a brand new group to be part of this new trilogy. And it is almost time that you can go back to the future to hip-hop and just just recast the entire thing and make it all about hip-hop. I would just...
You know, it's always been long enough that if you did a Back to the Future now, you could go back to the era that the original Back to the Future was made. I mean, so that would be kind of a cute play on it.
I would love to see
Amy Rose?
I liked seeing Doc turn up in Sin City. That was cool. I do think that these films are in the classic territory, so my initial reaction is, really, guys? But I do think because of the concept of being able to go in different parts of history, that there are a lot of other elements they could explore. I do love that idea. So in this case, it's not such a flat, linear story where, you know, they're just straight rebooting the same thing. There's actually fresh content that could be made from this. So I do think you're right. It's very pivotal to get the right actors. And if they do that and it's, you know, reinventing it in a unique way, I could come around.
Yeah, it's got to be a reboot, though, not a remake.
Yes.
That would be very key.
Plus, what car would it be? It wouldn't be a DeLorean. What would it be? Would it have to be a lemon?
Prius.
A Prius?
I'd make it a Prius.
Right? Probably.
All right, what else you got?
Jean Hernandez writes, from say hello to my little friend to life is like a box of chocolates, what is your favorite movie quote?
Oh, wow.
Oh, I mean, there are a lot of great ones, but I'll just always fall back on mine. Spaceballs. Dark Helmet and Lone Star are having their fight, and Dark Helmet has him at a disadvantage and says, now, Lone Star, you will see that evil will always triumph because good is dumb. that will always be my favorite movie quote.
I'll buy that for $1.
Yeah, that's a good one, yeah.
I always think of Don't Call Me Shirley. That's my first one.
Leslie Nielsen, that's great.
Or you gotta, hey, you looking at me? You look, what? You looking at me? What? You looking at me? Yeah. There's so many.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be back.
I am your father. I mean, all right, let's take 2 more quick ones.
Okay, Matt Calixte writes, do you think with the awesome films dropping in 2016, would it be fair to say it may turn out to be the greatest year in cinema?
It's so hard. I mean, we had that discussion a lot about 2015 when Batman vs. Superman was still going to be that year, and there's 1 or 2 others that moved. Yeah, Warcraft, I think, moved out to 2016. And so there was some discussion. You're going to have Avengers 2, you're going to have Jurassic Park, you're going to have new Star Wars, you're going to have Batman vs. Superman, you're going to have Warcraft. I mean, so there was those discussions. It's really tough to say until we get closer and we start seeing some stuff from these movies. Every year has the potential to be the greatest year of movies ever. I think 2015 is probably going to be the biggest box office year in history. But how good will the films be? Don't real know yet, but we'll hang in there. But certainly 2016 has as good of a chance as any. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I just feel like every year we're like, oh my God, these are amazing. And it all also depends on what films do it for you, because there's amazing indie art house films that released last year, which really took most of the Oscars. And then there's these big budget, amazing comic book films and all this. So I just feel like every year has something else to say. And a lot of it's reflected in the state of our world and the universe and everything. And a lot of that is, you know, reflected in cinema and what people really yearn for. So yeah, I think it all depends. But man, it's a great time to be a film fan because all these incredible films keep coming out. I also use You're Killing Me Smells a lot, by the way.
Yeah. I think 2016 has just as much of a chance as 2015.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, there's so many films now that Guardians of the Galaxy, I think that's coming out in 16, right? Or is it 17?
I think it's 17.
Maybe 17's the year, guys. I don't know.
That's my
all
lucky
these
number.
years, they all sound great, so I can't really judge right now. I mean, 2014 has been a great year for movies. Yeah. I'm looking forward to all the films from next year and the following year. So.
All right, one more really quick.
All right, the Dinosaur King writes, what would it take for spoof and parody movies to be great again?
For which movies to be great again?
Spoof and parody.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, spoof and parody movies where you had Hot Shots Part 2. What was the one with Val Kilmer?
Top Secret.
Top Secret. You, the Leslie, you know, this Secret, not Secret
Naked Gun.
Naked Gun films.
Scary Movie.
What happened was Scary Movie ruined everything. I know some people really like the Scary Movie thing, but even if you like Scary Movie, it kind of started a new trend that went right like this. And then you got those two dudes who direct, like, you know, Meet the Spartans.
Too.
Right.
Like, it just all became crap. Spoof movies stopped being about good humor and good spoofing to let's just throw in, you know, pop cultural references, and that becomes funny.
Pile it up.
I mean, and they've just become pathetic. It's going to take one really visionary filmmaker to do a spoof movie that is not just pop culture references and all this crap, get a really great comedy. It's going to take one to do it, to show the studios and the audiences again, these can be great if you don't just make a pile of crap that appeals to the lowest common denominator and will make $5 million. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I can't agree with you more. I would say anyone who wants to write a spoof movie or a satire, Young Frankenstein. Study that film, because that is one of the funniest films. I could watch that every year, and I do, and laugh my ass off. It is repeatedly funny. There are scenes that I could forever watch, and that's the sign of not only a classic film, but a classic spoof satire comedy. And that's a perfect spoof satire. So watch that if you're writing something, and use that as like the gauge. Pick a topic, stick to that topic, use the references from that topic. You know, that's a genre film. It's Frankenstein also has the werewolf, Invisible Man. There's all these things you can hone in, but it's Frankenstein. So that's a good.
The aforementioned Spaceballs.
Yeah, I feel like there's still a lot of satirical films. I just feel like that line to where it becomes a spoof is different because, I mean, he hasn't made one in a while like that, but the Christopher Guest films are still very satirical. And Space Station 76 looks like it's going to be that as well. And I still feel like there's a lot of films that have that satirical element to it, but they're not all the way across like the Top Gun and Top Gun and like, you know, that kind of element to it. It's not that extreme, but I do feel like a lot of films still have social commentary that are satirical.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.